Hi, it's Amara
And it's Jessica.
from Sci4Us. And our motto at Sci4Us is to create and inspire the love and appreciation of STEM from a young age.
One of our aims is to showcase the transferable skills that STEM has to offer because we genuinely believe that not all scientists wear lab coats.
Yes, so we've challenged our young people at Sci4Us to go out and discover the different careers in STEM. They're going to achieve this by conducting a series of interviews of professionals who are in the field.
Okay, so we hope you enjoy.
And we really hope that you learn something new.
Hi, my name's Amit Sinha, and I'm a Chief Technology Officer at a technology firm. Today, I've been challenged to explain my career, my job, and the industry at 3 levels of increasing difficulty. Chief Technology Officers are individuals who typically have oversight over technology and its application for a company or a business unit. Many CTOs look after development in-house, and most will have a market-facing role, trying to help customers understand the technology that their business has built and how it can help and support. Often, CTOs will need to create and deliver on a technology strategy and be abreast of any and all changes, both to the industry and to the landscape more broadly. Hopefully, today, everyone will leave with some form of understanding as to what a CTO does and what a job in the industry looks like. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Do you use a tablet or a computer at home? You do? Brilliant, brilliant. You know that a lot of people who go to work use tablets, computers to really help do their job. That's really what I do for a job. Is I try to help people understand how they can use computers to make their job even better and make their company and their business even better.
Do you have any women in the team?
That is a great question, Niels. So at the moment, in my team very specifically, we actually have, we're a team of 12 and we have 6 women in our team. So we have a proper 50-50 or half-half split. But actually, I've been in teams before where we don't have as many women, and that's why we need more girls and more females to actually study STEM subjects and come into the industry and come into industries like the technology industry. It's one that we're working on quite a lot.
You need to know how to code to do your job.
So you don't. What you need is an interest in solving problems logically to be able to work with people to really help them. The third aspect is that you actually need to be willing to do a lot of learning because technology keeps changing time.
Does your job take up all your home time? Like, do you always have to work?
Again, very, very, very good question. So look, sometimes I'm busier than other times. That is very true. However, I think on average, I actually work a pretty sensible amount of time and I've got a pretty good balance. I actually have enough time on the evenings and weekends to really do what it is I want to do. And recently, as an example, I've found a bit of a hobby in looking up at the stars and actually taking photos of the stars in the night sky. So I get to do that a lot of the evenings and a lot of the weekends. Hi, Caden. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Caden. I'm good. I'm really happy to be here today talking to you about a career in technology. Do you know much about careers in technology?
I don't know that much, but I was wondering if I could ask a couple questions.
You can ask anything you like. Absolutely.
What GCSEs and A levels and what university would you have to go to get into your position where you are now?
For GCSEs, I largely focused on STEM areas, if I'm being honest. So I took double English, so that was English language, English literature. I took triple science, because that's what we had back then. So I took biology, chemistry, and physics separately. I took maths. I took computing, or sorry, IT actually, as it was called back then. I took French, and I also took history. That was for GCSEs. So for AS and A levels, I took maths, further maths, chemistry, physics, and computing. Now, just by way of interest, as a side note, I still use a lot of the stuff that I learned from that period in my day job. But ultimately, I then went to university. I went to York University, which is near Leeds, up north in the UK, and I studied computer science.
So what, did you have to get certain grades in those subjects to get to where you are now?
I did have to get certain grades to be able to study certain subjects. I think when I went to university at A level, I believe the entry requirements were something like an ABB or an AAB for York University. I applied to other universities as well, to be clear, and every university had a slightly different entrance requirement.
Would you be able to explain to me what an AI is?
Yeah, absolutely. So, artificial intelligence, or AI, is an area of computer science where we really look at computers, or use computers rather, to look at large amounts of data and try and get them to analyze that data with a view of trying to either show us some patterns or potentially even predict what could happen. In certain cases, the problems that we're asking the AI to solve are problems that we as humans would typically have to do. So think through maybe you looking at a painting or a picture of a car, actually trying to get the registration number or the make of that car is something that we could potentially now use artificial intelligence to do. And actually that's where a lot of businesses and a lot of companies, even ones that you interact with.
Last question: how would you program a website or game on your iPad or tablet?
When you're building any kind of technological solution, there are several parts which go into it. First and foremost, you need to understand why it is you're building what it is you're building. What is the application going to do? What is the website going to show? Once you understand why you're building it out, you then need to think about what functionality you want there to be on your website. So do you want there to be just one page with a lot of text? Actually, do you want multiple pages? Do you want the ability to click a button to move on to the next page? Once you understand the functionality, you then need to design the user interface so you know exactly what it's going to look like. And once you do all of that, and once you've gone through the design, you can then actually go ahead and start to build it. In some cases, you can do a little bit of that design work and you can start to build it. And as you're building it, you can continue to design it. Ultimately, once you've built a certain part, you then need to go ahead and test it, and off you go.
Inside the game, then updates and stuff happen. How would an update happen inside an app?
So it is what a lot of it is what a lot of gaming organizations or game makers do as well. They try to work through what the storyline of the game is. They try to work through what the characters will do and what the environment will do, and then they go ahead and build it out. When you look at creating an update, what you're doing is you're either adding functionality or enhancing functionality to your application. So again, if you take a game, maybe there's 2 levels to the game, but you want to add a 3rd level. What you do is you build out that 3rd level within the game itself using exactly the same principles that we just talked about. And then you actually ship the update such that you effectively either reinstall the application or the game altogether, or what you do is you create some form of amendment to the game so that it understands all of a sudden that there are now 3 layers. Will, hello, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. Tell me, Will, do you use technology at all? Do you have a phone, TV, camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. What do you class as technology?
I guess anything which uses, I don't know, which uses electricity you can interact with.
Absolutely, it is absolutely something that you interact with, and it's actually something that even businesses use a lot of.
So, what skills do you need for the position that you're in particular for leading a team?
Brilliant question, Will. There are several skills you really need to lead and manage a team. One of them is organizational skills. You need to be organized when you're thinking about what it is your team's doing and where your team's going. You need to be able to communicate well with your team, and you need to understand. You need to have the empathy to really understand how they're feeling at different points. You need to be able to problem solve as well, as your team comes with problems, and you need to be able to make decisions as well.
So as well, how do you get from just worker in a company to a high position, like a junior to a senior role?
So normally the first thing that you have to do is you really have to become good at what it is you do. If you go in as a graduate and you're focusing on programming, then it's really about how do you become the best programmer that you can possibly be. How do you get the experience you need to become the best programmer you can possibly be? If you're actually working and with some experience, you'll probably move from a junior developer either to a developer or potentially even to a senior developer. At some point in time, depending on the organization, you will have a choice. You can either try and become an expert in your area, or you can really try and become a manager and actually start to manage a team of people who are like you, who are doing the kind of role that you were doing previously. And this goes across the industry, to be clear. So there are paths in between, but those are the two broad paths that you can take.